God created oceans, full of mysteries, and now cameras are catching what looks like real mermaids. These strange footages are shocking everyone. Are these real sea creatures, or something beyond belief? Let's look at the most unbelievable mermaid sightings ever caught on camera. The Screaming Mermaid of Sri Lanka. Something strange washed up on a Sri Lankan beach in 2021, and it wasn't a fish. Beachgoers rushed to the shore after rumors spread about a creature with a human face and a fish's tail. It lay belly down in the sand, barely moving. When one man gently poked it with a stick, the creature jolted and hissed. Locals froze. Was it alive? They say pollution drove her from the sea, but whatever she was, she didn't belong on land. The Jalpari Mystery. In an unnamed village somewhere in Asia, people gathered around what they called a halal perida, water fairy. Wrapped in a cloth, the creature lay quietly while its tail twitched like it was begging to return to the sea. But no one let it pass. Some covered her out of respect, others stood in shock. What was she doing there? No answers, only whispers of an ancient myth coming true. The Blur at Bluestone Park. Tourists were rafting through Bluestone National Park when someone shouted, "Did you see that?" A strange head bobbed up beside their raft, too human to be a fish, too fast to catch clearly. The video is blurry, but play it back slowly. You can almost see a face. Some say it's just a fish. Others swear it was something else. Something watching. Creature beneath Lake Tiaca. A group of Bolivian tourists were enjoying a calm boat ride on Lake Tiaca until something surfaced. For a second, a creature with a human face appeared in the waves. Then, it vanished. At first, they thought it was a diver. But when they re-watched the footage, the diver had no gear, no suit, and dove like no human could. What swam under that boat still haunts them. Florida's mermaid corpse. One morning on Florida's west central coast, a beachgoer found something horrifying. A woman's body with a long, dry tail and visible bones. Her hair was still perfect, but everything else was decaying. The ribs showed through, the tail had stiffened. Was it a real mermaid? Or just an elaborate prank that no one ever claimed? Rock Mermaid of Puerto Rico. At a quiet Puerto Rican beach, someone caught a terrifying sight on camera. A creature sitting on a flat rock. It had a flowing tail, but the face looked skeletal and broken, thin hair, lifeless arms, and eyes that didn't blink. The moment it noticed the camera, it plunged into the sea. No one ever found her again, but that video still sends chills. Sirens in the dark. Late at night, in the middle of a vast, empty ocean, a man filming the sea suddenly heard a sound. High-pitched, echoing, like a scream or song.
What is that noise? This is crazy. I heard.
What is that? He whispered. The audio is real. The sound, unmistakably haunting. Was it dolphins, or was it something older, something darker? What sailors once feared as sirens. A mermaid too real. A disturbing video once made waves online. A dried, colorless mermaid corpse. Its tail was brown and brittle. The spine stuck out. The torso looked like it had been rotting for years. People panicked. Was this real? Later, it turned out to be a prop for a museum. But even knowing that, the sight still lingers in your mind like it shouldn't. Mermaid child in South Africa. In Durban, South Africa, villagers found a childlike creature with a shimmering tail and small side fins. It wasn't moving, but its tail shivered when touched. Everyone gathered, unsure what to do. Some said it was a mermaid baby. Others believed it was a sea animal mutated by pollution. Whatever it was, it never woke up. Sand monster attack. Two friends were filming on a beach in 2012 when they saw something twitching under the sand. One poked it with a stick, and something grabbed his leg. The video shows a pale hand, a shriek, and chaos. People called it a mermaid. Others say it was staged. But one thing's for sure, nobody stayed on that beach afterward. Washed up after Hurricane Faye. After Hurricane Faye hit Florida in 2008, residents found something unexpected lying among fallen trees: a lifeless mermaid. Her hands had dried out, nails pointing up, her scaly tail had gone stiff. Many thought it was a hoax, but no one found the person who filmed it, and no one has seen that body since. Splash in Wolf River. A group fishing in Wisconsin's Wolf River heard a sudden splash behind their boat. When they turned, nothing was there, but their camera caught a strange shape, something with a dark round head and small limbs swimming fast. It wasn't a fish. It wasn't human. What was it? They still don't know. Skeleton in the Black Sea. Two archaeology fans digging at Karabaroon Beach expected old pottery, not bones. At first, they thought they'd found a human skeleton. But as they kept digging, the spine curved differently, the skull had spikes, and instead of legs, a tail. A real mermaid fossil, or an elaborate setup for internet fame. Either way, they left the site shaking. The secret test that wasn't meant to be seen. It all started with a family trip that turned into a nightmare. In April 2011, a video titled Test 2008 sent shockwaves online. It showed a family exploring a dark aquarium, laughing and filming, until they stepped too close to a blackened tank. Out of nowhere, a horrifying creature slammed its scaly hands against the glass. Panic broke out as the family screamed, "Get away from the window!" Many believed it was proof of a secret government experiment, maybe even alien or mermaid-like beings kept hidden from the public. The Mermaid off Israeli coast. A calm day of filming turned into pure chaos. While shooting in Kiryat Yam, Israel, a team from Animal Planet caught something they never expected: a quick flash of a mermaid. The crew gasped, unable to react. It wasn't a sea lion, they said. It had a slender, human-like figure. "Oh my God, did you get that?" someone yelled in shock. To this day, no one can agree on what it was, but one thing certain, whatever they saw wasn't ordinary. The skeleton on the shore. Something terrifying washed up on Great Yarmouth Beach. A beachgoer stumbled upon a decaying creature with a human-like skull, a long spine, and a fishtail. At first, people thought it was a prank, but the smell, the bones, it looked too real. Even skeptics had trouble denying what lay before them. Was it an unknown sea creature, or had a real-life mermaid just died in front of them? The mysterious lake creature. A few years back, a chilling video showed a strange being sitting quietly by a lake. It had the body of a mermaid, but not like the ones from fairy tales. When it noticed someone filming, it suddenly dove into the water and vanished. The location was never revealed. Was it fake? A cover-up? No one knows. But that short moment was enough to haunt the internet for years. Operation Merman Extraction. Something strange happened in Utah, and it was caught on camera. Two people in yellow hazmat suits walked into the water and pulled out a strange creature. A green-tailed merman. Before anyone could get a better look, they loaded it onto a stretcher and vanished behind the rocks. The video was removed shortly after. No names, no explanation, just more mystery. Mermaid caught on land. A bizarre video began circulating online. Someone caught a mermaid trying to crawl over rocks. Some laughed it off as a costume stunt, but soon more sightings came in from other parts of the world. The most recent? Jamaica. A man stumbled across a creature with long hair and a fish-like body hiding behind rocks. The moment she moved, he stumbled back in shock. Indonesia's mermaid panic. In 2018, beachgoers in South Sulawesi, Indonesia, claimed they caught a mermaid. Crowds gathered to see the creature. It had a leathery skin, a tail, and an eerie calmness to it. Unlike stories of charming sirens, this one looked more ancient, more real. Some experts said it was a dugong, a sea animal with a mermaid-like tail. But locals? They still believe they touched the legend itself. As the Croatian sea shadow. Just as the sun hit the waves in Croatia, a man set up his camera to capture his dive, but what he filmed left him frozen. Right before his jump, something strange leapt from the water. Something that looked like a mermaid. It vanished as quickly as it appeared. He rushed to check the footage. Slowing it down, his heart raced. There it was again. A shape, a tail, a flash of mystery. Was this just a trick of the light, or did the Adriatic just give us a peek into its secrets? The Michigan Mermaid illusion. One sunny day at Lake Mullet in Michigan, a video went viral. It showed what looked like a real mermaid swimming underwater, graceful and effortless. People lost their minds, but soon the truth surfaced. It wasn't a mermaid, but a professional performer in a costume. Yet the illusion was so perfect that even skeptics applauded her skill. Not a real mermaid, sure, but maybe the closest we've seen. Mermaid on CCTV. Late one evening in France, a diving instructor heard splashes in a pool that should have been empty. When he checked, no one was there. So he rewound the security footage. What he saw chilled him. A woman entered, dove in, and moments later, her legs were gone, replaced by a long tail. She climbed out and disappeared into the night. No ID, no explanation. Just one eerie question: was it real? Michigan's River Mystery. In the wild rivers of northern Michigan, a group of adventurers caught something unexpected on camera. A figure with a tail wriggling in the water, refusing to face the camera. For a second, it looked just like the mermaids from old tales. But this time, the mystery was solved. It was Phantom, a famous traveling mermaid known for her lifelike silicone tail. Still, for those first few seconds, it felt like magic was real. The rock sitter of Mallorca. Sailing tourists near Mallorca weren't expecting to see anything strange until one zoomed in on a faraway rock. There sat a strange creature, long hair, a still body, and what looked like a tail. Excited, they reviewed their footage. Could it be? The clip went online and some viewers were convinced it was real. Later, editing signs were spotted, but it still stirred people's imagination. What else could be hiding near those shores? Baby mermaid skeleton. On a quiet Florida beach, a kid poking around in the rocks made a spooky discovery. A tiny skeleton with a human skull and a fishtail. He screamed and called over his family. Was this the body of a baby mermaid? Some believe it was just a Halloween prop that washed up, but others can't shake the creepy possibility. What if it wasn't fake? Rosarito's Wave Dancer. A family filming waves at Rosarito Beach in Mexico caught more than sea foam. A smooth shape leapt from the water and vanished in a blink. Curious, they rewatched the video and saw what looked like a mermaid. Excited, they shared it online. Many were amazed, but experts chimed in, it was likely a dolphin. Still, the moment felt like magic caught on tape. Lake Mermaid encounter. It was a normal summer day at the lake until a mysterious swimmer surfaced. Kids gasped. "Look! There's the tail!" someone shouted. The figure didn't hide. She swam proudly, knowing people were watching. While most knew she was likely a local performer or cosplayer, in that moment, it felt like the legend of mermaids had come alive. Monkey tail, fish bones. People were stunned the first time they saw it. A strange creature locked behind glass with the upper body of something like a monkey and a tail that could have come straight from the sea. This was the famous Fiji mermaid. Back in those days, the world had no internet, no fact-checking, so when this eerie creature was shown to the public, many believed it was a real mermaid. But years later, truth surfaced. It wasn't a mermaid at all. It was a clever hoax made by sewing together a monkey's torso and a big fish's tail. Still, that creepy creation blurred the line between fantasy and reality for a very long time. River mermaid hoax. Now here's something that got the whole internet fooled. A short video from India showing a man pulling a strange creature out of the river. People started screaming, "Mermaid!" before even watching the full clip. But let's take a closer look. That mermaid had legs. It turned out to be a poor baby monkey that fell into the water and was struggling to survive. Luckily, someone rescued it, but by then the video had already been shared around the world as proof of a mermaid. Talk about wild imagination. Sand siren. A woman walking along a quiet beach in Australia stumbled upon something terrifying. What looked like a human body lying face down in the sand. At first she panicked, but when she dared to get closer, things got even stranger. The figure had legs that blended into a single fish-like tail. She took a photo and posted it online. Instantly, people began whispering, siren, mermaid, even sea monster. Others argued it was probably a decaying dolphin. Whatever it was, that strange shape frozen in sand gave everyone a chill. Guy drone mystery? A drone flying over the calm waters of Dana Point, California, suddenly spotted something unusual. Below the surface, slim bodies were moving quickly, diving and leaping out of the water. The creatures looked almost human from far away. When the footage was posted online, people rushed to call them mermaids. But let's not get carried away. A closer look reveals the truth. They were just dolphins playing in the surf. Beautiful, yes. Mysterious, not quite. The Sea Fairy of Antwerp. Back in the 1500s, sailors from the city of Antwerp, Belgium, were terrified of something swimming near the coast. They called it a sea fairy, a creature with wings and a long tail. Stories spread fast because all they had back then were words, not proof. It wasn't until centuries later that experts revealed the truth. The so-called sea fairy was actually a manta ray. Its strange body shape, with wing-like fins and ghostly movement, had fooled everyone for hundreds of years. Ocean woman. Imagine flying your drone over the middle of the Pacific Ocean and spotting someone swimming right in the middle of nowhere. That's what one man captured, a woman far from shore, floating with something that looked like a fish tail. It looked exactly like a mermaid. But wait, pause the video. Look closely. She has legs. Turns out she was just wearing mermaid fins, probably testing them out for fun. Not a mythical sea creature, just someone playing dress up in the deep blue sea. Mermaid in the pool. Someone on vacation filmed something odd. A blonde woman sitting calmly on the edge of a rocky pool, flipping her shiny tail in the water. Was this a real mermaid? Many thought so, but before the internet could go wild with theories, she was identified. This was Mermaid Melissa, a performer who travels the world entertaining people by dressing up as a mermaid. Still, the way she looked in that video, even I had to pause and wonder. Bones of the Sea, in the heart of Copenhagen, Denmark, the city where the original Little Mermaid story was born. There's a museum filled with strange bones. Among them, mermaid skeletons. Some look ancient, others more recent, but all are eerie. One skeleton, said to be discovered by a farmer and his dog, has a spine like a human, but ends in a fishtail. Whether it's real or just made for display, visitors come from around the world to see it, hoping that maybe, just maybe, mermaids are more than just fairy tales. Mermaid in Michigan. The kids were screaming with joy like they found treasure. Somewhere in Michigan, 2 kids spotted something moving gracefully in the lake, and they couldn't believe their eyes. They shouted for their parents, pointing at what looked like a real mermaid calmly swimming near the shore. But this wasn't some wild sea creature from a fairy tale. It was a woman dressed as a mermaid, part of a group known for entertaining families across Michigan. She's not fooling anyone, just keeping the magic alive for the little ones who still believe in mermaids and mysteries. If that gave you chills, hit like and subscribe for more mysterious sightings. See you in the next one.